intelligence could be there, just right from the get-go. I think that imagining something like that requires, I mean, that's magnitudes of order different and more difficult to do so. So I'm comfortable with my position in saying I don't know.
Yeah,
well, I certainly do not mean to give up on theoretical physics, but my point in bringing up the example with the analogy with 1 + 1 = 3 and the Konigsberg bridge puzzle was that 1 + 1 = 3 has no logical outcome. You can't make it happen. It just doesn't work mathematically and logically. So looking for a mathematical explanation is a waste of time. Likewise, no explanation for the universe outside of a special creation is logically tenable, as for reasons I detailed in my opening statement, that you have to postulate an infinitely regressive series of events, which is not possible to have an actual infinite in the realm of reality. With regards to where God came from, my opponents appear to be falling into the trap of trying to explain the supernatural naturally. God, as I defined at the beginning, is boundless and all-knowing, all-powerful, ultimate, supreme being. If there could be something greater that created God, that would be greater than God, and therefore God would not be God. An infinite being who created the universe cannot have been made because he's always there and all-powerful, all-knowing. With regards to God being an infinite quantity, please note I was referring to infinites not existing in the finite universe, God being outside the boundaries of this universe because he created it. That does not apply.
Going back to what you said about anyone who says that science can explain something is usually proved wrong, you also said that we know that the Big Bang is nothing like what we know of the world, that it's something that we can never reproduce, that we can never, if we try to reproduce it, we can never know it's exactly like the original Big Bang. So I don't know how you propose that science goes back and comes up with a complete explanation for it. If there has to be this thing in the past which we can't replicate and study now. There are some things, like you mentioned, that we do know about the Big Bang, and I'd like to bring them up. For one thing, the entropy of the black hole being enormously greater than the star of the same mass means that given a random distribution of gravitating matter, it is overwhelmingly more probable that at the moment of the Big Bang, the matter would form a black hole rather than a star or a cloud. It is overwhelmingly more probable that the universe would have collapsed in on itself rather than forming matter, energy, and dispersed gas. Roger Penrose computed that if the thing had happened randomly, a black hole cosmos would have been more likely than one filled with matter by a factor of 10 to the 10 to the 30 to 1. We also know that at the moment of the Big Bang, the two forces opposing each other, the gravity of the universe tended to collapse it, and the force of the explosion tended to expand it. These forces had to be balanced with an incredible precision to keep the cosmos either from collapsing or from expanding so rapidly that all matter was ripped apart. In the first Planck time, this precision had to be accurate to 1 part in 10 to the 60. Another highly unlikely circumstance. Another remarkable circumstance is the degree of uniformity of cosmic background heat radiation that was generated by the Big Bang, which is uniform to 1 part in 1,000. If the Big Bang had been a random thing, this uniformity would have been so improbable as to be impossible. These are a few of the things that science and mathematicians have calculated about the Big Bang, which I find to be suggestive facts about the fact that it wasn't.
This isn't in the program, but we do have a few extra minutes. If you guys would like to revive
Real quick, you brought up the cosmic microwave background radiation being uniform. The simple fact of the matter is that it's not uniform. I mean, that's what we attribute to, or that's why there are clusters of galaxies that are observed as opposed to just random uniformity. The CMBR is exactly what we predicted it would be. I mean, it is not uniform, and that's something that's very important simply because space is not uniform. There are clusters of galaxies with galaxies not emission disruptors. You said that God is boundless, all-knowing, and all-powerful. The title for the debate is Evidence for the Existence of God in the Physical World. That's an assertion. I mean, your argument is just as valid as me saying no. I mean, you haven't provided any evidence that God is boundless, all-knowing, or all-powerful. I mean, that's just an assertion. I mean, there's no evidence for it. You haven't provided any evidence for it. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just an assertion.
I was going to say that I might have a little trouble articulating this, but you were going on about how it was overwhelmingly more probable that, as sometimes scientists say, that we would have created a black hole universe and things like that, right? But for all we know, like again, we're saying we don't know what was happening to create the universe. For all we know, that could have happened. And then it could have existed like that for a while, and then gone on to collapse on itself again.
And the universe could collapse in on itself until all the matter that was in it would be compressed into something so small, the gravity would be, so intense, and then it would just have to explode again in something like the Big Bang. Also, black holes are matter. I mean, everything that has matter creates gravity. That's basically what a black hole is. It's got gravity that's so intense it's not even light. So, and I'm sorry if I misheard you. I thought that you said that black holes had matter.
Regards to the claim that I was simply making a assertion without providing any evidence as to the nature of God, that the all-powerful, all-knowing, ultimate supreme being is the definition of God. It's like me saying a triangle has 3 sides. It's just, if something was smaller, if there was some other divine being smaller than that, well, there could still potentially be something greater that would then be God, and this lesser divine being would be something else.
Would just like to ask, if you're talking about the expanding collapse of the universe, say that would happen over and over again. As I understand it, it's second law of thermodynamics talks about the entropy of the universe. That each time that happens, a little bit of the energy would be lost. I don't know, but given these odds, would it not be possible that the energy would run out maybe before this universe had time to create itself? But even so, talking about this infinite number or better number of collapsing universes is still something that you can't see, you can't prove. Again, it seems just as good as an argument for that.
So you accept that the universe will come to an end due to something like heat death or the sun swallowing our planet. That's a lovely plan for us from an omniscient, from an all boundless, all knowing, all powerful God. I mean, if we're the pinnacle of His creation. I mean, that seems kind of grim.
Always the surface, the end of the universe. There's always a fish down there, so it's well ceased. It's not evidence, but it is consistent with the opposite.
Oh. I mean,
were you asking if it was possible that all the entropy would have run out before we got here? You said something.
If it was, the universe was infinitely old, right, and it expanding, then it would have expanded to the maximum extent an infinite amount of time ago.
Well, see, when you say that, and you're saying the universe is losing energy, where is the energy going?
To at least the less organized state.
Yeah, but I thought you were saying that the universe lost the energy somehow. Like,
I don't have the background of physics. I thought.
If I may have used a non-technical term.
Well, if the universe doesn't lose energy, then feasibly it could keep expanding and collapsing. I'm not saying this is how it happened, because again, we don't know. And I'm comfortable saying that, but like at least that's more feasible than coming up with an infinite all-powerful God.
Again, I mean, I think that we're nearing the end of the debate. I still haven't heard any actual evidence in the physical world for the existence of God. I pretty much heard is science can't explain this, therefore God did it. And what you're basically saying is that we don't have any evidence, or we don't have evidence to refute you. And I never said that we did, and we don't have to. It's simply that I just don't see, again, any evidence. Just, you know, again, everything that you've provided, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't, it's not substantial enough to overcome any reasonable doubt. I mean, the stuff that you've provided, you know, with all due respect, it's not enough to get a rapist thrown in jail, let alone for me to be willing to suspend the laws of physics in the universe to favor your position.